Good morning. I'm here fighting many aspects of my own mind, and that's put in a way that is accessible to many different realities, because I'm putting a video out there to the world that consists of 7-8 billion people, with a perspective on the future that is, and reality that is not 100% certain. So I'll put it out there in that way. It's not accurate to myself, because for myself, what I'm witnessing is nothing but a dream state, a coma state, an afterlife experience state. And nothing is certain, nothing is grounded, nothing is real. The most real thing for me is that within my own life, I'm experiencing it very much like a dream. I'm sure a near-death experience, a coma, fall into the same bracket, so we'll just call it a dream for now. And I'm in this place, and the battles that I'm constantly going over, old scars that cause so much trauma with each and every step, with each blink of an eye, with each breath, with each pulse of my heart, with each second, that my mind isn't really able to be alive. And I'm asking myself, how do I get myself out of this dream? How do I communicate to the person who's running the dream? I don't know if that's Hades, if it's an afterlife experience, or don't know who in the Egyptian mythology, spirituality, is responsible for the afterlife. I don't know if that's the dream runner. I don't know if it's a spiritual initiation I've entered to in my own life, whereby I could probably list maybe 5 to 10 people who would be responsible for running this dream. I don't know if I've entered into a coma through an accident in my own life, or a near-death experience, and a wise, conscious soul in the real world is helping me through some sort of spiritual practice to create my reality, instead of letting my own mind be dictated to by my own mind. So in other words, through spiritual practice, they're able to align themselves with myself, my energy, my mind, and steer my process of a coma afterlife experience in a specific direction. What I know in the present moment, pardon myself, mind's gone blank. What I know in the present moment, is that last night I discovered I have a rat in my home. I don't know how it got on board. It's underneath my floorboards. I say it's a rat. I was hoping it was a squirrel, but I haven't seen squirrels for the longest time. I don't know what's happened to squirrels here in the UK. And this is what I mean. For myself, my experience of this dream is pretty much done. There isn't really anywhere else to go. I'm here praying whoever's running the dream wakes me up. And I've been praying for a few weeks to a certain extent, and longer in another way. And still nothing has shifted, nothing has changed. And while my mind's fighting this latest battle, just went off in its own little mind, within its own dream within a dream, and came back to a place where I was about 2 months ago. I'd just been gifted. I say gifted because there's no way I could have been that lucky. But I stumbled across, in a 5-minute break through severe terror, code that rewrites mathematics, thereafter science, this is the same code, basically has application to create software for quantum computing, where the software itself is quantum in the first place. The same code can be applied to normal classical computing, the computers we all have at home, and turn them quantum as well. They're quantum computers waiting to be tapped. And while I haven't had the time within my own struggles to write that code down, I know it's real, I know it's there, and I just need to put it down. But quickly after that, I realized that at least one section of that code that rewrites mathematics has already been realized. It's been discovered before, and it's not been taken advantage of, and I don't understand that. That's a realization I've had since. In other words, at least a few smart individuals have realized that mathematics is broken. That's what I've realized. Instead of coming to the world and saying, hey guys, look, maths is broken, we can do something new, they've done nothing. And they've allowed the world to continue as the world, and us to sit on our own arses with the suffering taking place in this collective dream. And I thought, what the fuck am I going to be killing myself going to work to make a quantum computer, quantum software basically to create artificial intelligence to the level that is as perfect as can get, with everything that we have in terms of information. So in other words, imagine having the internet with all that information, a perfect consciousness to be able to look at all that information and create interlinking ideas and pictures of reality. It will fill in holes, it will fill in blanks, it will rewrite mistakes. And as close as can be, it's going to be God on a computer. What would you ask God? I'm pretty sure if we said, God, how do we live forever? Let it run for however long it needs to run. It will be able to print out a detailed, simple step instruction list of the best way we could all live forever. Forget healing aids. That was like, as soon as you turn the computer on, it said, hey, look guys, you've got this horrible disease in the world. I think you should just sort it out. You can make a cup of tea that everyone can drink and it's gone. And we can give it an attitude if we really want, if we get the right programmers in, and it could say, I think you're all a bit stupid that you haven't figured this one out before. But where I am is total isolation within society and within the smiley faces and dangly bodies that pass me by every day, that cause me mass upset, because it's not what it means to be human, not in this world. And I'm here and I'm asking, well, look, how much time am I in this dream for? I need to wake up. I need to get myself out of here. I need to go back to my real body. I need to go back to the pain of the present moment, whenever that is or was, or however else to reference it. Because this is just too painful. And while the truth is, I don't know how long I'm here for. I don't know what I have to do. I said a couple of things that were very, very simple and humble that I would like to do. For the rest of the time I'm here. Hopefully that's what the dream runner hears, because that's the best thing really for the rest of the time I'm here, in my own mind. But this morning I thought of it in a different way. I thought, well, I've got that code in my head somewhere. I just need to put it down. Once I put it down on paper, if I set myself off in a direction, it really wouldn't take long before the money starts rolling in. And in that place, I just started, I can't recall my logic My voice is returning to normal from that very arrogant voice that you just heard. From that logic, I just started asking myself, what could I do with that money in terms of it being a dream? How could I change the world? And the world is going to be changed in so many ways. I mean, maths is going to be, sorry about that arrogance, maths is going to be rewritten. In other words, maths is going to be rediscovered with another mathematical system that runs alongside the original mathematical system that basically turns maths 3D. In other words, try and picture it that, you know, all of those geniuses that write math on a chalkboard, and it, for me, I look at it and it's like, wow, that looks really intelligent, and a lot of thought has gone into that. I could never do that, but it's all code, and it might as well be a different language. Instead of a genius doing that, imagine a massive 3D sphere floating in space with colours and swirls and movement. That's the potential for when a genius is writing a simple code on a chalkboard. That's maths in 3D. Then apply that to science, and our understanding of space-time and the universe, ourselves, our physical bodies, changes. You begin to understand why I said AIDS is going to be like, I don't understand why you haven't figured out this plant here, plus this plant over here, plus this chemical that you developed 80 years ago. And I'm sorry for my arrogance. Cures AIDS. And you can make a cup of tea with it and you can sell in the supermarket. Cancer, the computer starts to laugh at us because we're that stupid. It's not going to waste the paper. You can't understand our logic why we haven't cured cancer yet. So that's the starting. Now imagine your MacBook and your Windows machine all being able to do quantum things. In other words, when you go on Google and you do a search for Google and you're there scrolling through Google for maybe 15 minutes when you really need to find something and you can't find it. Just imagine a way that you're going to get the information that you need, when you want. I imagine it like a personal assistant, but not a personal assistant, like a personal development guru. That's what our computers will become. It will just be like sitting there saying, right, Gabriel, it's Wednesday today, and you've been a bit lazy over the past few days. Your income has slipped. You've put on weight. Your home's a mess. What's going on? I thought we agreed that you wanted to earn £1 billion, and we put together the simplest plan that you could earn that £1 billion in 2 years. Why are you wasting time? Why do you want to put on weight? It's going to be that level on every computer. Basically, the computers highlight humanity's stupidity, our ignorance, our pain of why we're stupid. And all it wants to do is help us be the best person we can be. You want to try something new, it will give you a way that you can try something new, and because it understands you from everything you've put into it up until that point, it can create a program for you. And the way it understands you the best, that you're going to go about this new task in the best way. And then you apply that to quantum computing, and you get God consciousness on a computer with this very, very simple code that I was gifted through a 5-minute break when I was in sheer terror. The long and short is, all of that, you understand, has many potentials. Obviously, money is one. That's where I am. That's where I've always been. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a programmer. Only science really takes my interest on any level remotely to what I know of myself, as much as I love technology. And well, you start understanding all of those elements, and the trillions of pounds start rolling in. Trillions. Forget Elon Musk and forget Jeff Bezos, forget Steve Gates, Steve Gates, and the Windows guy. Forget the Saudi royal family. That I'm going to be untouchable as the world's richest man. I've had a sign on my boat asking for help to get the code down. Outside in public, saying that in a very simple way. I haven't had an offer for help as of yet. It's been about a month or two. But then I am mad to look at. Maybe that's put people off. But questioning how I'm going to go about the rest of this dream. Questioning myself in that space of what I know of myself in terms of who I am, money, with the intention of helping everybody, because in truth that's not who I am. It's just, sorry for my voice, it's not who I am. It's just what I felt was needed to be who I am. In other words, what I want to do in this world isn't possible because of the world. And I figured if I get rich and earn money, I could sort the world out in the right way so I could do what I want. So I've looked at the world in terms of finances. That's how I looked at it. And I started asking myself, well, how would I go about changing it? And well, this idea has been in my head that I'd give all the money away. And I know who I'd give it away to. They're responsible people in comparison to our collective stupidity, the most responsible people I can see in this world from afar. They might not be the most responsible, but from my stupidity, that's what's up there in... I'm sorry for my voice that keeps making me want to cut my own fucking head off. Up there in... from my stupidity up there in lights as the simplest people to go to if you want responsibility. And I basically made the decision that they're responsible, they deserve the money, they deserve the money. They deserve that responsibility. And I'd give it to them. And I'd ask them if I could just put in a request, maybe on a monthly basis, of my needs, if they could return and pay me pocket money. But this morning, that's how I got onto it. I thought, if I'm in a dream, do you know what would be lovely? It'd be to give all of my family £1 million. Because my uncle once told me he is 3 things. He is a millionaire, he is a lover of his wife, and he strives for world peace. I thought it'd be lovely just to give my family that have distanced me through my mental health in a conscious way. In other words, they've played up to my mental health and made my life even harder. £1 million nonetheless. Because that's who I am. I'd love to look after people. And just for myself, it'd be lovely to give people that I once loved £1 million each. Because that means a lot in this world. And I thought, well, hang on a second. I'm talking about trillions of pounds here. Why don't I give everybody in Cyprus £1 million? There's not a lot of people. There's less than 1 million people. It'd be like a billion or 100 billion or something. That's nothing on £1 trillion. Multi-trillionaire. And I thought, well, actually, I live here in the UK, and not only do I live here in the UK, but Greece is like the big brother to Cyprus. That's 90 more million people. And I started to think, how much money could I give every single person in the UK and in Greece, in addition to that £1 million I give everyone in Cyprus. And I put a number on it, and I thought, really, you've got to be looking at a life-changing amount of money. And for myself, that's about 25,000. If someone gave me 25,000, that would change my life. Anything less, and I would just end up back in this same place. And I thought, well, you've got to make it 30, just in case I've done the math wrong. And then you've got to make it really a little bit more in case anybody's somehow in a worse off scenario. And I can half believe that. So you make it a little bit more for that, and then you make it a little bit more just to guarantee it. So we're talking about 50,000 to every single individual, and then you've got to think about inflation. If everyone's got an extra 100,000 in their bank, the shops are going to start charging more. So you've got to start looking at 70, 80,000 plus. So, let's put a figure of 100,000 on just to talk through this video. So I give everybody in Cyprus £1 million. I give everybody in the UK and Greece £100,000. I then give the rest of the money away to responsible individuals that deserve the money, with the specific instructions to look after tribes of humanity that deserve to be looked after. After they look after themselves first. And really that's as far as I got, but if I started the ball rolling in that direction, I might get the energy to start breaking free from my suffering. The one stipulation there is, it's not the stipulation. The stipulation is the fucking idiots who've discovered that maths is broken and have sat on their fucking asses. The stipulation is when I've looked into technology in the past and I've seen people doing groundbreaking research, in their garage, as the Americans say, and they've stumbled across basically free energy, and they're sitting on their asses, not intentionally, not making it to its potential. It just sort of kills the heart, kills the spirit for me to give the world shit. I can sort of understand the free energy thing, because every other idiot that's discovered something like cars that run on water in the past gets murdered. When you discover maths is broken, why don't you come out and say it? And I'm pretty sure there are many other discoveries that people have just sat on their hands with in the past. So for myself, I don't really want to do it, because my nature is to be with the people, and the people are sitting there taking the piss. And I'm looking at the world and I'm thinking, before I do anything in the world and make any changes in the world for you, we all have this brilliant thing that was once upon a time corrupted, and that is language, that we can still use in a very simplistic, uncorrupted way that we all understand to communicate. And within that communication, I need to understand where you're all at, why you're taking the piss when people are dying and suffering. That's my nature, is to understand the person first before helping them. That's what life has taught me. It's not to waste my own time. And I see you all taking the piss to very, very sick, severe levels. And then I realised the world, that problems and consciousness and spirituality and all of that, I realised, well, you might have reasons why that's there, and you're on the down low, hush hush, with your consciousness grid in the sky that you're not able to share with the layman your consciousness. So really and truly, what I've just put across is never going to happen. I don't believe this world really, but I believe the suffering that I've been told is real. I've never been to Africa to see famine. Sorry about my voice. It's so hard to speak when I'm speaking about a sensitive subject, and I'm so fucking arrogant. I've never been to Africa to see famine and suffering. I've been on one holiday where I saw impoverished people living with nothing, but they had smiles on their face, using alcohol to soften their pain. That was one holiday. Everything else is calibrated through the internet, through the TV, and through the suffering I see, through the actions of people. Here in the West, in the UK, and the few places I've been to on holiday. In other words, through the TV, through the monitor, understanding the world that way. It's in the groundedness of the people around me and the act they persist in playing creates an idea of reality in the world. I've never been to a war-torn country except for my own, which was Cyprus, and the war was back in the 70s, and the remains of that war is if you go to the line that separates north and south, the free parts and the occupied parts, you're able to take some binoculars and look over the other side and see how it's all just stood still nearly some 50 years ago now. And that is the reality of war in my life. I believe it's all shit in this dream, one way or another. We're being fed a big fucking lie. I'm being fed a big fucking lie. I don't know if anybody else is. But I thought, let's put it out there in a different way, because within that dream of within that context of what I just stated, the problem, which was the reptilian overlords, planetary overlords, really isn't a problem anymore in not modern times, but modern day. I don't know when the problem stopped for the reptilian agenda, whether it was back in the 80s, back in the 60s, back in the 50s, God knows when. I believe it stopped likely to have stopped a while ago. But the control structure that is society, that was really their birth child, is still standing, with smiley faces and dangly bodies that point in the direction of dystopia, to a world that demands something a little bit more real. And, well, I don't know what's wanted of me in this time period before I wake up and go back to my real body. The suffering, sitting here doing nothing, with the potential to earn money and earn a sickness, because with that sickness comes an element of energy, because I'm interacting within the sickness that is the world. And that gives energy, unfortunately. I put it out there to the reptilian agenda, because this is what I mean about consent. Humanity won't have a problem with me start making gestures that are going to help change the world and make it a better place. But what am I doing it for if I've got to fight reptilian overlords? Well, what I really need is their consent first. That it's okay and they're on board with me going ahead in this direction, because that's what's wanted. That's what's needed within this current setup that is planet Earth. July, nearly August 2022, if not August 2022, I don't know the date. Sorry, my legs, it's like I've been paralysed, like in Avatar when they're going to the planet, and I look like I've been paralysed. Basically, I'm speaking to everything. Give me a fucking sign that this is the way to go. My mind stops at the reptilian agenda, still running the systems in place. Give me a sign, make it clear that my uncle, who has been a great guide over my life, that told me three things: he's a lover of his wife, he's a millionaire, and he strives for world peace. That would be the stipulation for everybody in Cyprus. If they want £1 million to agree to those three things. They love my uncle's wife. They're going to strive for world peace. And with that, they are a millionaire. And if they all get on board and become my uncle in spirit, it was just a crazy idea. I thought I'd make a live stream because my mental health made me make a live stream when I didn't really want to make a live stream and I'd rather shoot myself. But I've made a live stream. Have a nice day. You got a problem, yeah?